Hey lovies, welcome or welcome back to my channel, Aries Only, where I channel messages for Aries only. Today we are doing a love advice sort of a reading. So it's like a messages from your guides that I like to do semi-regularly, like maybe like once every 2 weeks. But we're doing a love edition just to see, like, just to get love messages and like advice basically, or whatever you need to hear regarding love. Could be self-love, could be a specific romantic situation. We're going to see what comes out. So what does Aries most need to hear right now? Let's do a quick sage. I love to do this on camera. I used to never do it, but I feel like sometimes we can get so like caught up in readings and be like constantly watching them and get in that like energy, like very tense. And it's just good to take a second to like breathe in between. Sometimes you forget. So anyway, let's do that and let's get cracking here. So what advice does Aries most need right now regarding their love life? What does Aries Spirit Guides want to say to them regarding their love life? Okay. We have, let there be closeness between you, but always give each other space. Love never claims, it simply allows and gives. So there could be some space, obviously, here, and this says twin flame. So I feel like this could be a message just for twin flame specifically here, or just someone that you feel a very intense attraction to, that you're having a separation from, that would kind of line up with this closeness and space dialogue that I'm seeing here. Your spirit guides are bringing through. So let's see. Oh, what was that just fell out? Beauty, but let's just see if that comes out. What message does Aries Spirit Guides have for them regarding love right now? Hello, Queen. All right. What do you want to say to Aries right now? I'm going to read this from the book. It's 2. Let's just get 1. What message? Oh, okay. Number 52, the Ancient Ones. Okay. This is a beautiful message. And I feel like this is coming through. I feel like your spirit guides are here. Like, this is such a beautiful card to get. I feel like I want to cry almost. So you could be very emotional or just very like kind of like, ugh, like about your love life right now. But almost like I'm seeing like this is you, and this whole process of like the light coming in and threading the light through the darkness is very painful, especially in a twin flame connection. I feel like your guides are like, especially there's their 4 here. Could be like, no, we're here with you. But let's see what this says in the book. And I feel like there is some sort of crucial message here about how like this time apart is teaching you something, but let's see what this says. Oh, that beauty. That's so weird because I just... All right, I'm going to come and read that as well, because remember that card like flew out of the deck and I just flipped to it. So I feel like your spirit guides want me to read that. Number 52, the Ancient Ones. Your spiritual growth is now acknowledged and witnessed by the heavenly ones that see beyond time and space into the reality of your soul. Do not lose heart if your spirituality is not fully acknowledged, understood, or appreciated by those around you in the physical world as yet. Though they may love you, it is most likely that their vision is still bound by time and space, and they cannot see into the very real gains that you have made in the subtle worlds, where all true spiritual growth begins. So, the Ancient Ones reach out to you and bring this message. We see you, beloved. We honor your growth. It is real, it is palpable, and soon it will manifest fully in the physical world with breathtaking beauty. We honor your light. Namaste. That's beautiful. This oracle brings guidance that you have taken a leap in personal growth. If you are still testing it in the physical world, trying to translate your inner changes into outer experiences, take heed. It's only a matter of time before you see reflected back to you in your physical world what you have become within. And you will see it mirrored back to you in the eyes of those around you in sacred relationship too. So this is a beautiful message. I'm going to read this poem too. This is a beautiful message about like, okay, so like something that I'm getting here is that you could be very much like working through this painful like twin flame process. And if you are trying to maybe discuss it with the people in your life. I feel like this was coming through in another reading I did like last week. But like the people around you could kind of just be very dismissive or unconvinced. And I think it feels so real and palpable to you, and you can tell like how you've been growing. And even though you're still maybe going through the process here with the number, this is a number 52, it's a number 7. 7 to me is all about those personal transformation and growth that you go through, those experiences that like truly grow your soul. And then we have it being made up of a 5 and a 2. So it's making me think that there's like challenging energies within your relationships with other people, whether that be your twin flame or your family and friends or whatever, but like probably maybe all. But even this could be a message about your family and things like that. Let there be closeness between you, but always give each other space. Love never claims, it simply allows and gives. So it's almost as if you're, how am I trying to say this? Like you're seeing how you've grown and you're understanding how you've learned to like let go of this and how it's so painful for you, and you feel so like connected to like maybe your twin flame here. And the way that you've grown, that you're able to like just live without them, is very much an accomplishment in and of itself here. But the people around you don't really get it. They're like, okay, like what? Like, and I think this is your spirit guide's way of coming in to be like, listen, we know that this is a very tough process here. We see like all the ways you've grown. Your light is shining right now. We're so proud of you. It's just like they just want you to know that like, and you will see it mirrored back to you in the eyes of those around you in sacred relationship too. And it's not just like by one person, like, oh, like by someone who's going to love you and be in a relationship with you. I think they're saying like someday people will see and people will understand everything that you went through to some extent. Maybe not to the extent that your spirit guides can, but like they'll see the way you've grown and changed and things like that. Did that candle go out? I gotta light another candle. Okay, so then there's this little poem. Here's wishing you some sunshine the day after the rain. So maybe you had like a bad sort of night yesterday or like a bad day yesterday. Here's a hug of understanding when life seems filled with pain. Here's knowing that emotion like wind blows many ways, and of course, and our course will seem more certain with the dawn of each new day. So I think Spirit wants you also to keep in mind that like, even though if you have a bad day or like a terrible kind of like a painful experience, like, you know, with your twin flame here, or even just like on your own thinking about it or feeling it, or the whole like emotional roller coaster that that journey entails, Spirit wants you to know that like try to find a way. I think this is like the advice, like try to find a way to sort of like ground yourself into the present and like sort of reset your energy every night, whether you do a little saging ritual, whether you take a shower and just scrub with like Epsom salt just to sort of cleanse those painful energies, and sort of like neutralize like everything you've been through that day, and just be like, okay, I'm gonna go to sleep and I'll feel better in the morning. Like have a little mantra. Everything will look better, look brighter in the morning, or just something like that, something to help you feel better and give you a little bit more peace at night. I feel like your spirit guides really want to help you to find peace. Let's read this beauty card because that like flew out of the deck. To celebrate the divine feminine is to honor her beauty, her endless bounty, and abundant creativity. You're a vehicle of her beauty. This is radiance that has nothing to do with soul-destroying cultural stereotypes based on physical appearances. It is the radiance that comes from feeling beautiful within, of allowing all that you are to shine through you and be witnessed in the world. You are being asked to let the inner beauty become one with your physical self. You don't have to change the way you look to become more of the divine beauty that you are. You just need to change the way you look at yourself. Behold the divine within you. You are in the process of healing past wounds about your appearance, your body, and your sexuality, finding purity in all of yourself and becoming ready to share that with others in a deeper and more open way without shame or self-criticism. Take your time and fall in love with what you are. Then you become not the victim of others' own projected shame, but the love necessary for the shame of the world to heal. This is beautiful. This oracle indicates a significant change in self-perception taking place within you, an ability to love and accept yourself more completely than you ever have before, quite simply because you have grown and there is more divinity awakened in your heart than ever before. The nature of the divine is love, and you are realizing that you don't have to change to be beautiful. Allow this development to grow swiftly and embrace your uniqueness, beloved. You are an exquisite flower in the heavenly garden. Okay, so something that I'm getting here, like, I feel like this process and this whole journey with this twin flame is about you being able to process some of the trauma from your past regarding your appearance, your body, and your sexuality. Maybe some feelings of inadequacy in those departments, feeling like you're not good enough in those departments, like, oh, there's somebody that's more beautiful than me, or there's like you're not being comfortable with your body, or maybe even like some eating disorders. Like, it could be a whole range of things, but definitely some sort of shame. There was a lot about shame here, self-criticism, and just whatever like emotional trauma that you hold inside. Specifically, I would say regarding shame in the solar plexus chakra. um so, and it's weird that this was saying take your time and fall in love with what you are, and you can become not the victim of others' own projected shame. So you could have been shamed as a child. This may not be for everybody, and I think a message that spirit wants you to know is that, in a way, when people shame us or shame you, again, it is obviously a, what did this say? A victim of others' own projected shame. So they feel shameful about themselves, or they did when they were younger and never processed through it. And they, it's like the cycle of life, the circle of life. Then they sort of do what was done to them and keep, perpetuate the cycle of shame. And again, this is like about breaking ancestral patterns. This is about breaking like family, they say curses, but like those family trauma, basically generational trauma. This is how it happens. It's like, and that's how that's where it comes from too. So this is like generations of shame, like being passed down mother to daughter, or whatever, father to son, whatever it is here, father to daughter, whoever. But the person that's meant to break the chain here is you. And I'm sorry, but I truly believe that a twin flame connection is a vehicle to breaking these, not the only one, I'm sure, but I think it is a very powerful tool in breaking these patterns and cycles and, curses, if you will. But because it like, it's so intense, it like pulls like the deepest shames within us. Like, for example, if your twin flame has rejected you, like, it seems like there is space here, and you could feel like, but you're mine, like, I know that I feel this in my heart, like, we're meant to be. That's maybe because there is like an air of like possessiveness here. Love never claims. That's like a message for you. It simply allows and gives. So I feel like you could just feel almost like wronged, like, this is mine, like, why is it not here? Maybe you're not thinking about it like that, but it's just, it feels so right to you, and you don't understand why it's not working out, and it's very painful to be away from this person, and it is causing these feelings of shame to sort of swell within you, I would say, and burn within you, because shame burns like a lot. It's very painful to go through. It's very uncomfortable feeling that. It's like you could feel disgust for yourself and things like that. So, and I think that's why like spirits like almost, remember how I was saying like this light coming through by threading through the darkness, like this, it's like the twin flame sort of gets like deep down, because you have to understand, like, especially if you've been shamed your whole life, you've built up so many blocks and walls against like feeling it. And it's like, I feel like this is just my personal theory, but like, like the twin flame intensity madness is like the only thing that is like, I guess, strong enough or intense enough, sharp enough to like really get into like and hit that trigger point that you have like all these layers of protection around. It's like the twin flame is the only thing that can like get in there, like, and just really like trigger it to come out. And that's how it has to come out. It's like you have to feel it, you have to sit with it. Everyone's like, okay, but then what do you do once, how do you heal from trauma? I mean, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, but I mean, I think that the way to sort of, not that you can't be working with these people as well. I think, I mean, I know during, some painful times of my life, I was spiritually healing, but I was also seeing a therapist too. I agree that both of those things are very useful, and I encourage that if you feel you need to. But as far as like emotional trauma, sometimes like when just it coming up and feeling it, just like it helps free it from inside of you, almost the way this looks to me, like you're feeling it and it's like coming out, and your spirit guides are watching you go through this process. And it's like, especially regarding things about your body and your appearance and sexuality, like maybe you just feel like sexually rejected, or you feel like you were rejected in favor of somebody that like is better looking than you. Like these are examples of ways that this could be coming through and really helping you to feel and heal these, I don't want to say opinions about yourself, but these long-held beliefs about yourself, these deeply ingrained beliefs about yourself that maybe you're not even aware that you have. And this is like a deep process, and it could be by them blowing you off, rejecting you, things like that. And you just like maybe sitting around crying, feeling like if I was prettier, they wouldn't have done this to me. Because there's something about comparing yourself to culturally stereotypical like standards of beauty here. And I think what Spirit is saying is that like the beauty and the natural light that you have within your soul, if this is your twin flame, is like there's nobody that this person could like love more. So it doesn't even matter, like it doesn't matter what you look like. It's like that beauty is just beyond anything that the eyes can see here. And so, but like also like we do live in a 3D world here where we're subjected to these, you know, stereotypes, and we can have these beliefs based on them, and they are very deeply ingrained. But when you start to sort of open yourself up spiritually, and you start, especially in a twin flame connection, which we literally had on the back of the deck here, I feel like, because it's saying your passion ignites, but also I think it's also like, I'm getting triggering from that. It's like igniting something inside of you, like a fire. Like I was saying, it burns when you feel like shame releasing and stuff like that. So it isn't really like the funnest process, but it does help you move through trauma. Like it really will. But it's not going to take like a week usually, like especially, I guess, depending on how much trauma you have. But, you know, it's like you sit with those feelings of shame and listen to what you're saying to yourself. You know, like, are you telling yourself like shame makes you feel like disgust with yourself? That's another thing to keep in mind. Disgust is like, I don't want to say it's a terrible emotion, but it's just not fun. It's very mean. You can be very mean to yourself. So just try to like notice at least the language that you're using within your own mind to yourself. And if you're able to neutralize it a little bit, maybe try to do that. Okay. So let's see. Ask for help. What do you really need? Be willing to accept support. So I feel like maybe even Spirit is encouraging you to go to therapy. And I'm just going to share this. Like, this is my own personal experience here. But I remember when I was going through like my twin flame experience, like my mom like really was like encouraging me to go to therapy, and I was like, I can't like go to therapy, like it's spiritual, it's this and that, like this lady's gonna first of all think I'm crazy, but I'm like, I can't like lie and say that it's not, like what's happening isn't happening, so what's the point, like, you know, it's like it's not gonna work. And she was like, just go. Like finally, like after like a year, I did go, and I tell this whole story. I started hysterical crying on the phone. I'm like, this and that, and it's weird because it did help me, and I didn't think it would help me at all, but like I'll just give you an example of how it helped me in a way I didn't expect. But the lady, like after I tell this whole, like I see signs and this, I feel energy, like I'm telling her all this stuff, and like she didn't even really touch on that so much with me. She just basically was like, okay, like what I'm hearing from this is that I'm so stupid. I like love this person and they don't love me back. Why can't I let it go? Like, why am I so stupid? Like, blah, blah, blah. I was beating like that. She's like, you've said that like at least 100 times. Like, and I know I shouldn't, I can't help it. But like, I know I'm so stupid. I know like it's wrong. I know this, I know that, like just whatever I was saying about myself. And she's like, that's what she helped me to sort of like recognize, like, you know what I mean? It was a breakthrough and it was a big help. And I was just like, and she was like, you can't help who you love. Like, you can't help, like, why are you, like, saying, like, acting like it's so wrong and bad for you? Like you're acting like it's terrible. Almost like that song, The Worst, by, like, Janae Aiko, where it's, like, I feel like it's almost like an apology, that whole song of, like, I don't mean to. I don't mean to, like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to. Like, please, like, if I could stop, I would. Like, it's almost like that sort of a feeling. So I feel like that was something that, you know, so it doesn't have to be that specific thing for you, but like there might be something there. If you were like have an aversion to therapy, maybe it's something to do with like, you don't think that it's worth it because it's like just so beyond the realm of like just like traditional therapy, but like it might surprise you. I think that's what your spirit guides are wanting to say. And it doesn't have to be a therapist, but that's just one alternative, and that's one experience that I had that I wanted to share in case you were thinking about it. But let's see what else. do something for someone. Okay. Give your attention to another. So I think what Spirit is saying here too, oh, this is like a mirror. This is 1441. It's like almost like when you're going through a breakup and they tell you to like volunteer at like a shelter or something. I feel like that's what Spirit is saying. Like, let's get our mind off of things. It's almost like the vibe of like, if you want love, be love. And I'm just gonna like do this, but put something there. If you want love, be love, and almost like become what you want to attract, and it'll just make you feel good to do nice things for people, and it'll like divert your attention. This says give your attention to another. So maybe you have been with this romance, it says lavish the one you love with personal attention and affection. So that's making me think that you've been very much, obviously if it's a twin flame, wrapped up in this twin flame dynamic here. But and just like really like all your attention has been going there. And I think Spirit's saying like, let's try to like at least, I don't know, maybe give your attention to another. I mean, this is showing animals, so maybe if you have any like nieces or nephews, children, animals, pets, like if you can volunteer, or just maybe once a week just to get, you know, just to know that you're doing something good, and just like that would help to cultivate, especially a volunteer sort of a thing. That's kind of what I'm getting here. Even if it's just like an animal shelter or something, if you love animals, I think it's very healing to be around animals, A, and B, like how that beauty card was talking about building up that natural love light within you. That is, you know, not about outer beauty, but inner beauty. I feel like that's a good way to help you start like building that beautiful integrity within yourself, like trying to find that beautiful light within yourself, because I'm seeing light coming through in this card. So it's making me think that this is a good way to like balance out the darkness and those dark nights with some happiness, like knowing that you're doing something good for somebody else, being able to spend some time with some animals maybe, I think could be really good for the soul here. I'm getting animals, but if it's not animals, I mean, there's plenty of ways to volunteer, like, I don't know, the Red Cross, or like the, I don't know what else. Honestly, I don't know much about it, but like Habitat for Humanity, things like that. And you could be like out there helping to like build houses and stuff. And that's fun. It's a good way to like, ooh, be grounded and get your mind off of things. If you have the time, obviously. Help literacy, like helping kids read. And that's very like rewarding. I guess depending on the kid. No, I'm just kidding. Don't come for me. I'm just joking. Okay, wait. Let's see. What advice does Aries most need right now in regards to love? What do you want to say, Spirit guides? What is your message for them? This is strength. Okay. Are we going to take all these? I don't think so. That's 3. What is your message for Aries in regard to love? That was coming out. We have the Page of Pentacles. We have the King of Pentacles. And the Two of Wands in reverse. All right, interesting. I'm just going to look at this upright for a second to see like the imagery, because I don't use this card. Wow, this is powerful. So much here. I feel like, okay. First of all, like I am getting like this separation, this very unexpected separation happening here with like this tower. It's like the most interesting tower I've ever seen. That's why I was saying this is powerful. It's like, again, something that's so like, just something that you were so sure of. It's almost like you feel almost betrayed by Spirit, I would say. Look at this lion. It looks almost like it's turned to stone. So maybe this is like a, you know, like in a fairy tale when so it's like, say this was like, I mean, it'd be weird to think of you being in love with a lion, but
let's say they're a Leo. It's just a euphemism for that. But it's almost like spirit came down and like cast a spell on them and like turned them to stone, and you're like still like clutching onto it. Like, no, like I know that this is real, but there's like no life in it. You know, does that make sense? And it's like you're still clutching it. And that's why let there be closeness, but always give each other space. Love never claims. And you're like, no, how could you do this to me? This is mine. Like it's a vibe like that. And even here I'm getting that same sort of a vibe, like something that you thought was very sure, like this firm structure, like is like there's like a lightning or an earthquake or something that's like separating, and it's agony. It's like ripping away, and it's a slow process. This isn't like a clean break. This is like maybe this person popping in and out and just sort of giving you the runaround a little bit, and it's like little by little it's like tearing. And I feel like something that you're very afraid of is that the damage is never going to be repaired between you and this person. Is there too much damage? Is there too much structural damage here? Like if there was an earthquake and, you know, there's like an engineer, whoever would do that, I don't even know, like assessing like the damage, and they're like, no, there's too much structural damage. Like the whole thing has to come down. I feel like that's actually what has to happen. And we have to like with the Page of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles here, it's like we have to like build things from the ground up. It's like, it's almost like you thought when you met your person that like that was it, and like you were about to like maybe be together, and then like I said, it's like almost like a fairy tale. Someone like came and like turned this person to ice, or turned them to stone, and like crumbled this whole like your expectations here and pulled you apart. It feels like the universe is maybe pulling you apart and, you know, causing all this damage. And it's like you're almost like so mad at your person, like, why are you doing this? And it's like you feel like, yeah, like there's too much structural damage, and you're going to have to like, it's like this is your person. Oh my god, it's like damn, it's like they like murdered, look, it's like they murdered you. And the way that he's carrying the person's head, it's like he beheaded this person and is running away with their head. It's almost like I feel like that's like just a euphemism for this person. It's just like you feel like your thoughts are just always with this person, and it's like you're empty inside or something. It's like you've lost everything. Like you might as well, this might as well have happened. They could have cut your head off and taken it, like not literally, but like, you know, that's like the metaphor here that I'm getting. But it's very much like you're afraid. It's like there's structural damage. The whole thing has to be like knocked down, cleared away, built back up. And going from the Page to the King is a journey in and of itself. That's weird that I was saying Habitat for Humanity, because I feel like there is something about like rebuilding a home. It's like coming through in that way from this deck, like a structure. And it's like almost like with the Page going to the King, I'm getting that it's going to be this whole like student to master process of you learning how to maybe master yourself in the physical world, because I think that's what's going to suffer as you're sort of like maybe like swept up in this, in the emotion of this twin flame connection that I'm seeing here. And then, yeah, on this card, we have the Two of Wands, and I feel like this is in reverse, and I feel like this is Spirit saying, worrying about the crowd and things like that is almost like, and what other people are thinking about you, I feel like that's almost like keeping you stuck, because the Two of Wands is about choosing a path, and it was in reverse. So I feel like you're unable to move forward because maybe, because you know how this card was talking about, other people may not be able to see the real gains that you have made. So it's like you are in this like Page of Pentacles energy, learning as like in the student energy, learning through this process. But again, like your friends and family, whoever this is referring to here, that like isn't able to see your growth, they don't understand that. And so they're not able to like recognize, like it just seems to them like you're very stagnant and not doing anything. It could feel like that sometimes. And I think that's why this message is coming through. It's like, I think your spirit guides want to reassure you that just because they can't see it doesn't mean that there's not actual work being done here. And to not really worry so much what they're thinking, because your spirit guides are like, we see you, like we're here, like just so you know, like we're recognizing that this isn't easy. And a lot of times these people that are judging, like they've never been through this process, and it's tough for them to really understand all that it entails, and the strength, and it's like sometimes you don't really have much energy like left over for other things. What did I see? Somebody posted it. Was it Xtremetarot? I forget where I saw it. Or no, it was something on Instagram maybe. Oh, it was Sammy from the circle. I love her. But it said something like, maybe you're not just lazy, maybe you're using all your energy for survival or something like that. And it's like this process here, like it's like this to me is like emotionally exhausting. This is feeling like you're getting ripped in half, feeling like something is getting ripped away from you. Like that is a very exhausting and emotionally draining, I don't even know what you would call that, like process here. So like, you know, maybe like you'll never maybe be able to articulate it to other people, but like exactly what it feels like necessarily. But I think your spirit guides want you to know, like, we understand, and you have to just find a way to like give that reassurance to yourself and learn to not care so much what other people think, which is obviously easier said than done. But I think another thing your spirit guides want you to know is that you will, by the end of this process, have learned how to do that, and that's going to be so beautiful. So let's see what else your spirit guides want to say. Any last minute advice before we close out? Okay, we have mirror. Who or what is triggering you? Yes, I was getting triggering right from the beginning. I do feel like that is the main message here, that like, you know, this is meant to sort of do this to you. And I think the fact that it's coming out over this ask for help, if it is too intense, maybe do sort of seek help. Even here with the underlying energy, the sacred waters, nourishment, replenishment, health, rest, and self-care. That's like that whole like shower with Epsom salt. Like find a way to sort of unwind at the end of the day. If it's been a long day of being triggered, it's understandable. Like try to find a way to reset your energy. I have done that with, like I was saying, I turn off all the lights. Like I have like my neon light thing, like in the bathroom. My shower head has neon lights. I light candles in there, and it's just like lit by candlelight and like the neon lights. It's very nice. I do like my Epsom salt, put like that healing meditation music on. And another thing I do is I dress in gray, because it's like a color of like being neutral and neutrality. And just like dressing in gray from like head to toe, socks, pants, shirt, whatever, just like helps me to feel like I'm in a more neutral state. It could be all white, like one of those, whatever, black to like, you know, keep negative energy away, pink, the love energy. But sometimes using color to like, it can be very like comforting, like cozy pajamas and stuff. I think spirit wants you to like find a way to make a little sanctuary for yourself, a little like safe space for yourself at the end of a hard day. That's the vibe that I'm getting. What else do your spirit guides have to say to you, Aries? Get grounded. Yes, 100%. I was getting that as well. Empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. We did see this. I feel like connecting with animals, if you love animals, could be something nice for you. Gardening. I'm seeing a lot of roses. But I think spirit's saying empaths, highly sensitives, especially when you're going through this process. You're very vulnerable to like picking up on other people's emotions, and you're still internally trying to sort out how to like where to put all these swirly emotions. So please try to ground as much as you can by cleaning, by reading. Reading is a great way if you like to read, because when you're watching TV, for example, because you're just trying to distract yourself if you're overthinking about your person or something, or your family and friends, whatever's going on here. But when you're watching TV, it's too easy to let your mind wander. But if you're reading a book, it's like you have to stay focused, like on the book, like your mind is engaged. So, all right, let's see what else. Cleaning, I said, being out in nature, things like that. We have transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. Again, this is like that whole tower energy. This is exhausting a lot of your energy, so please give yourself a break first and foremost. Listen to the things that you're saying about yourself or to yourself when you're going through these triggering moments, please. And, you know, try to neutralize what you're saying to yourself, and be a little bit nicer if you can, but just aim for neutrality if it's like the shame is really popping up. Solar plexus healing, Reiki Rachel, I highly recommend. Okay, what's this? No, wait, postpone, pause, and say no. So there could be demands on your time. I was feeling that there is like a mother energy here. How can you mother yourself? So maybe you feel like you're not getting the support from your actual mother, whether that's because she's passed on or just is sort of like maybe being judgmental or something like that. I don't know, shaming, is not able to understand fully what's going on here with you. This could also be, okay, wait, let me finish that thought. So I feel like what that is saying, like with the no and then the star mother, it's saying that like you don't really need other people. Like you can learn to sort of nurture yourself through this whole process. And if there are like too many demands on your time for favors, like you can learn to say no and set boundaries during this time.
especially like, because that whole message that popped in my head about being lazy, and that you're just using a lot of your energy to survive. But I would recommend maybe doing some sort of like something with animals, even if you're just hanging out with one of your friends that has a bunch of animals, and like being around animals. Doesn't have to be that you're volunteering. If you are tired, Star Mother came out again. And then we had Imrama, where are you being called to journey to? That to me is maybe speaking that meditations and things like that could be good for you. All right. And then we have Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. I feel like this is a very crucial process that's going to help you to like write a lot of the like break a lot of the family generational traumas. That's what I feel like you're learning how to release through this whole process. And I feel like your ancestors are, yeah, morning dew, clarity, a fresh start, and a positive outlook. Have that sort of a mantra for yourself. But I feel like your ancestors are with you during this whole process, and your spirit guides. And this process isn't really the best. Things change at a cellular level. Deep healing, like healing sounds like, ooh, healing, but I think we all know that healing can be rough and dirty and nitty gritty. And I feel like that's the part that you're in right now. And don't be afraid to seek help if you feel like you need it. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. I wish you all the peace, love, and healing in the world, and I will catch you in the next reading. Okay.